like he left his wife and got like whatever we thought was hot in 6th grade. Like his wife is like just fucking the hottest Skidamax. Like you saw his boat, the mermaid with the tits, is modeled after his wife. No, I swear to God. Like if you want to pull up his wife and then the mermaid in front, they have similar titties.
You know, because of the divorce, she's like one of the richest people in the world. She's one of the richest women in the world,
or the richest woman,
and just from inheritance. Yeah, but
take that, Gail.
You ever see him when they have pictures of him and his new wife or his new girlfriend dressed up? He just looks like he's going like his country club's having like a '70s theme night. Like,
yeah,
it's just him with really shitty glasses.
But
like,
let's do this.
Is this the boat?
Well, I want to see the boat. Her next to the boat. You're going to see it. Okay. Well, where's the fucking mermaid?
Why does it look like Pitbull in that picture? The one that's
he's the white Pitbull.
He's the white Pitbull. He's Jeff Bezos' white nerdy Pitbull.
There it is. Is that picture up there, up to the left?
Oh,
yeah,
to the left.
One,
with the mermaid on it, or like, oh my God.
What a fucking pervert!
That's the ex-wife right there.
That's the new wife.
That's the new wife.
And then he got her boobs on the mermaid for the new boat.
What a cornball!
It's a real cornball move.
It's like, dude, you already got the girl.
I mean, if you're here though, if you're her, like what's so hot? Like the richest man in the world just put me on a boat.
Yeah, she looks. We used to go to a skate park every Friday in Levittown.
She
looks
there?
She looks like the owner of the pizzeria next door's wife.
Was she hot?
She was really hot. And I remember she was probably 35 and I was
You're
19.
Like this old fucking broad.
Yeah, I'm like, this old lady's really hot. Yeah.
There's
guys,
nothing hotter than when you were younger, like the people you thought when you were in like middle school or high school, the people that you thought were hot then will always be the hottest in your life, no matter who you meet now. I probably met like prettier girls since then, but because where I was in my lifetime.
Oh, like a high school in the suburbs. Obviously, went to high school in the suburbs. A high school crush. It doesn't matter what that person looks like ever again. Like
no.
They could be 500 pounds and you'd be like, they're the most beautiful woman in the world. It's insane how.
God, I remember how her hair glistened on my yin yang pog.
Oh yeah, I had one. Mine was Michelle Falco when I was in 2nd grade.
That's
and I remember, and still now I see pictures of her. I'm like,
Michelle
so
Falco.
Pretty.
You want to Google it? I'm just joking.
Yeah. Google Michelle Falco. No, and I remember I wanted to give her like a stuffed bear when I was in 2nd grade for like Valentine's Day, and my mom was like, "You can't, don't do that." My mom didn't want me to.
Your mom's awesome for that. Like that. I remember you telling me that. Like your mom was like, "This isn't going to work.
It's not going to work out."
My fucking mom. My mom who passed away, rest in peace. But she. I remember I brought like a shell for a girl. She's like, she's gonna love it, and I got it. And the girl's like, oh, thanks. Kind of like walked away. She's like, this is a fucking shell, like a shell with a jewel in it.
Well, dude, you know who I was just in LA for like 2 days. I was in San Luis Obispo and I was in LA.
Beautiful.
And in the airport, LAX is great. I haven't been out there in so long. And it kind of fits into what we're talking about because I think it also applies. The crush thing applies to like whoever your first movie star crush was. Mine was Elizabeth Shue, so I'll never not think Elizabeth Shue is gorgeous, and she still is gorgeous.
She still is gorgeous.
But her in Adventures in Babysitting is like one of the hottest things. She's so fucking hot, and even in Karate Kid or whatever it is. And there was a woman who I think I have in my mind that she looks a certain way, but she's getting old, and she was across from me. I didn't realize it was her. It was Amanda Peet.
Cute.
Very cute, and she still looks great. But she had her computer, and her computer had a sticker on it, a bumper sticker that said, "I love aging and dying." And I didn't realize it was her. And I go, I got to ask you, I thought it might have been some kind of reference to a show. Right. And I was like, I got to ask you, are you a lawyer or something? And then she lifted up. She had like one of those like famous people. I'm wearing a hat down.
Right.
She lifts up, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't say it. But
funny if you didn't know, like, you still fuck with her. You're like, no. Well,
she didn't tell me what you did. I go, are you a lawyer? She's like, no, it's a gift from my husband. She's like, I love aging. I'm fine with aging. And I was like, oh yeah, she's aging. She's probably in her 50s. She looks great. She looks great. But I still think of her as like Saving Silverman or something, or even before that.
Or the whole 9 yards.
Whole 9 yards, exactly. Which is like probably her peak type scenario.
Peak Pete.
Well, Dan, we are back. We did a little cold open there right there, but anybody who knows us, that we're best buddies over here.
Yeah, we're best buddies, and we had a podcast we decided to end right before podcast got big. A couple of years ago. And another one of my fucking
how long ago?
smart career moves.
It was 8 years ago. 8 years ago.
Christ, yeah,
And it was right before podcasts got big. And for more of a red flag / omen, it was the day Trump got elected.
Oh my God, that's true. Yeah, if you listen to our last My Dumb Friends, it's me and Sean Donnelly and our old producer Tom Lewis, great guy, and like it's us because we couldn't do the show anymore because I was in LA, I was writing for a show, and Sean was in New York. And the show, this episode's surreal because you hear us going like, "There's no way he's gonna win." Like you hear the votes coming in, and then he just fucking.
It's like time capsule. It's like really insane because you hear like while we're checking in with results, like while we're talking for the last episodes, like it's me, you, and Tom, I think, and yes, I think there was a couple.
We had a place. You had a big, but you had Texas Longhorn. Where did we go?
No, what do you mean?
In L.A., we went to like some chain fucking steak place.
Oh, was it Wood Ranch Grill?
I think that's what it is.
That's one of my favorite places, Wood Ranch Grill.
No, you eat at like 4 places. So.
But now we're back, and what we have in common is that we have comedy and we have the suburbs, and we both are fans of the suburbs. We grew
Not
up
comedy.
not comedy. We are done with comedy.
Yeah.
We're all comedied out.
Yeah.
We've joined the ranks of the let's just put up content masses.
Yeah, I'm gonna show my asshole.
You already showed your belly 4 times on the.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Well, I've gotten so much fatter than Sean. The old dynamic was Sean was fatter than me, and now it's gotten bad, guys. It's like a melted candle under the shirt.
I was fatter than you for years and years, but then I got below 200, and now I'm back above 200.
But you get 220 now?
Probably that 225. Probably I got bigger, but I'm still bald. You still got me there with your luscious
true.
locks.
You got balder, I got fatter. That's the big in 8 years.
Yeah, but we both got older, like Amanda Pete.
We both got older. Yeah, there's no Amanda Pete.
So basically, what the show is
sorry, that wasn't a comment. What I just did, guys. I'm getting used to fucking broadcasting.
What the show is there's a lot of wacky shit that happens in the suburbs, and we want to bring you a taste of what's going on around the country. It could be anything from paranormal to crime to relationship stories to small town government, whatever pops up. There's a lot of masturbation things that'll probably pop up. There's a lot of who knows.
That's what I'm doing right now.
So we want to bring you guys all the stuff that happens in the suburbs, and I think we had an article about like what describes what.
Yeah, I looked it up. My flawless stepping in. It was on Bloomberg. Like, what defines a suburb? And the only thing that people can come up with is just like. It's just a fucking town outside a city.
I think placement matters.
Like you're only put them in a different. I have a wrong here. Keep talking.
I also think that how far apart houses are, even though that sounds like a really dumb explanation.
Sucker.
How far apart houses are from each other, kind of, because you can have suburbs that I don't even know what the distances would be, but like. If your houses are a mile down the road, that's rural. There you go. That's farms, right? Suburbs, like mine's a little bit different.
That's the thing is I was going through it. It's like it's a debate. Like you could still consider that what you just described as suburban. Yeah. All things that you just described can be.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, right. And so, but I don't think it is. When I think of suburbs, I think of like the way Westchester, Long Island, like that is. Like, there's an obvious connection there. And I think you always have, it's filled with white kids that are always like, they're always talking about going into the city. Like,
right. Yeah, that was me for sure. Okay, an outlying district of a city, especially a residential one. And then the Bloomberg one is like, yeah, we don't really know what this is about. But, I was in Rutherford, New Jersey until I was 13 and then Westchester, New York. So, and I think the big difference is like now Sean and I really miss the suburbs. Like it used to be like, I was like, oh man, I want to be where the action is. But I just turned 40, guys, and I don't need the fucking action anymore. I just want to hang out.
I'm at that point. I'm at that point too. Like
I don't need a town. I need a town center and not like a town of culture.
Right. Exactly. Like we've basically lived in the city for 20 years. I've lived here for 20 years.
God damn, yeah, me too. I'm 40.
I get to a point where
I got here when I was like 22. I was in LA for 4 years, but yeah.
I don't think I could do off the grid type, like where it is rural. I couldn't do that. I'd be sitting there.
You would go nuts,
bored out of my mind. Yeah, I couldn't do like.
We did that for a little bit.
You guys did.
Yeah.
What, Western Mass, right?
Yeah, but it does get old after a while.
I would need, like, me going back to Long Island used to not even be an option, and I would do it now if it was going certain places. I go back. I don't mind it. It's like, it's easy. It's familiar.
I mean, part of the dream of this show is so I could buy a fucking house in the suburbs, guys.
What, for this show? When it blows up?
Because I'm sick of fucking living in fucking Queens, dude. I've been living in. But yeah, it's the suburbs. We talked about like fucking everything from like the Burbs to Erie, Indiana, to all like the like a cultural lexicon type of movies and TV shows and there's just something very quaint. Like there's a home element that I want, and maybe too it's because like we each have one dead parent, so maybe it's like that's guys really starting this up with a laugh riot. Sorry.
Wait, do you ever think about like the situation, like whatever's your age, what your parents were in that situation? Do you think like, do you have in the back of your head like, oh, that probably should have been a model of what I did, or you like, do you try to buck it, or do you go, oh, that seemed pretty comfortable? Like my dad, when he was almost 50, we were in Long Island, and he worked at Rikers Island, and he seemed pretty comfortable. He'd come back, he had his house that he owned, but it was different. It was the 80s. They bought it for like
you could be like a security guard and own like something that's $1 million.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know what he made, but it wasn't $1 million. Yeah. And
well, explain, Sean. Your dad was a
my dad was a corrections officer at Rikers Island Prison,
and he used to fucking somebody would kill themselves, and he would like, I don't know why I remember this, but he would cut him off the.
The story is this. My dad would never tell us anything about the job ever, because and people would say, "You must have had stories." He goes, he would purposely never. He didn't want to freak us out or whatever. Right. Right. But I'm sure stuff happened. I think he got into. I know he got into things. But one day I was in our junk drawer in the kitchen. Great. And I find this little device. It's metal, and it has.
It looks normal, right?
It looks like a metal handle with like half a handcuff on the end, like if it was attached, right? And it kind of rounds off, so it becomes blunt. But the inside has like a switchblade where there's something inside of it, right? Yeah. And there's a blade inside of it, but it's purposely rounded off. And I didn't realize what it was. I go, "What is this?" And my dad, he goes, "You don't want to know what it is." And I go, No. What is it? What is it really? I'm probably 17, I think 16.
Right.
And I go, what is it? And he goes, "You really want me to tell you?" And I was like, "Yeah, tell me." And he goes, "It's for cutting down inmates in their cell when they hang themselves." So he just flippantly just chucked this in our junk drawer next to our old car keys and some batteries and whatever kind of figurines, whatever.
And I know you got like squeamish.
Well, I was like, it was like, it still wasn't real, but I was like not expecting that as the answer. You know what I mean? So but the weird thing about it, when you realize what it was, the reason why it was rounded off is because you can't go into a cell with something that somebody could stab somebody with. So they had to use this rounded thing and kind of like, chisel away at the rope instead of just hacking away with a knife.
Your wife in prison. You get life in prison tomorrow for whatever. Would you kill yourself in jail, you think?
Not right away.
Would you try to be like Malcolm X and read the dictionary?
Is that what he did?
Yeah, he read the dictionary. I just saw that movie again. He read the dictionary.
Great movie.
Yeah, it's good.
One of the best Spike Lee movies.
Yeah, it's really good. And Giancarlo Esposito's in it.
Yes.
Shoots Malcolm X.
I would not kill myself right away, because I think it just depends on the situation. If it was hellish, like if it was all the things prison's known for, but isn't there a whole line of thinking that you can kind of you can stay below the radar?
Apparently, like Rikers is really rough.
Yeah,
so, like New York, you don't want to be, but if you're in Denmark, it's probably pretty sweet.
Yeah, they're like more humane, and it's not. Yeah. But Rikers, apparently, it's because a lot of the guards grew up with the inmates. They just know They all just know each other.
They make them fight.
Is that true?
Yeah, some of them make them. I was reading a Rikers article. It's so funny. Like I was reading an article about like Rikers. It's like a guy's there for like petty theft, and he's like saving his life. And then Denmark, it's like a child predator of like 100 kids, and it's like, yeah, they let me boogie board here. Like it's like a whole different way of looking at prison.
He's baking muffins.
Yeah, the other guy's like literally he like fucking made CVS a little bit.
These civil servants are starting a fight club, and this guy in Denmark is he's just Andy Dufresne doing people's taxes in the middle of a prison. But that's another reason to go to the suburbs is Rikers Island. Another reason the suburbs rule is they have, they might have local prisons. They want to get rid of Rikers Island. They want to do like multiple. They want to do like in the boroughs, smaller prisons in the boroughs.
Oh, jeez. It's always a solution for these things. Are like
it's never
way
what are you
scarier. Do? Yeah, you got to get rid of these. You got to not get rid of these. You got to like put these guys somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull up my fucking notes. This is how professional I am, guys. The first episode, but this is fun. This is that's how you know something's fun when somebody goes, "This is fun," though.
When you were in Western Mass, would you think that was because I think you have everything. It's just like New York. You have everything in Massachusetts. You have rural, where it's like you picture it like Bridges of Madison County or something, where it's like rural, but then you have there's a lot of suburbs in the Boston area, like outside.
Well, it was beautiful. Where we were was beautiful. It was nowhere really near. We were in the Berkshires and Western. We were a couple hours away from. I mean, I think my wife liked it a lot more. My wife loved it, and that's probably why we're still married. A lot of people split up during the pandemic. And
yeah.
We were able to make it work, and like with no one around.
And it was nice where you were. Like you were
was
like a
nice.
resort.
Yeah, we were. I mean, it was all cheap too, very cheap.
Because nobody.
Yeah, it was like that place that you went to was like $1,500 a month.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was like, and that place
was
was
huge.
gorgeous. It was gorgeous, and but like we got out of there because this is also when we thought like COVID was a lot worse than it was. But
but nobody knew anything.
nobody knew anything. It was just we got some dogs. But yeah, I think that what you were saying earlier, like it was too dead. Like having a middle ground suburb. Like I was in Stamford today, like, and it's like finding a place that like. It's somewhere. It's almost like remember that movie Super 8, where Super 8 could be filmed.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
Like, where the FBI could come in the middle of the night. And be
a bunch of kids on
alien landed here.
Bunch of kids on bikes sneaking out late at night. Like that was a sign of the
really
suburbs.
Creepy if we did that now.
Yeah, exactly. But then you also have like people don't realize because I think there's such a divide. It's like you do have like your liberal enclaves in all these different.
Every suburb is its own snowflake.
So like there's tons of areas in Massachusetts that are like. Very liberal and very, like
Massachusetts. Yes, Massachusetts will still go for Biden, guys.
And then Richard Dreyfuss shows up and ruins a Jaws.
Well, fucking let's not jump the shark. But yes,
can Richard Dreyfuss like
we would do that a little later on. We have a Richard Dreyfuss story, but we should do a suburb story.
That's a suburbs. It's happened in the suburbs.
I'm just saying, like for our first suburb story, like we don't want to bring Dreyfuss. Then everyone's gonna think every story's gonna have Dreyfuss in it. Like this is the first one that I'd picked.
Okay,
just because it's like nobody fit. Man leaves young son in sweltering car with a gun inside while he shops at Beechwood Mall. This is so funny to me that he's just like, what? I left him with the gun to protect the car.
It was he made the kid an anti-theft device.
Yeah.
It's like, just get an alarm.
Oh, that's a guy who leaves his kid. Oh my God, he looks like a drag queen without makeup. This guy.
He does. He's very RuPaul-like.
Is that what's his name? Bobo the drag queen. That's an actual drag queen.
Oh, Bob the drag queen.
Bob the drag queen.
That's Mateo's friend.
Yeah, I met him once. Nice guy.
It's also it's one of those things where you're like. He has the gun in the car. Do you think the boy was? You think he named the kid Sue? Like you think it was part of like raising the?
They
kid?
called him Sue.
Boy
Johnny
named
Cash.
Sue? Yeah.
Black
like,
Johnny Cash.
Trying to make him a badass.
He'd leave the windows open an inch.
He left the windows open an inch.
What a piece of shit.
There was no water in the car, which was locked. The outside temperature was 80 degrees. Police estimated the car's interior temperature had risen to 119 degrees.
When you were getting into the details of this, you realize people were terrible,
People are awful. It's like, how are you not thinking about this?
How old was this kid?
Does it say? Go up. Let's see what it says.
9.
9! Oh my God! I thought my dad was weird when
the boy had been crying. My dad, piece of shit.
One time made me go into the mall and buy my own sneakers when I was like 11, and I was freaking out about that. This is way different.
This is very worse. This is much worse than that. Yeah, but that's pretty.
I did have a gun. I had a gun.
You had a gun. You had a boat. That's pretty intense though. Going to buy. Like when you're 9, what are you, 9?
My dad didn't like crowds, I don't think. And we walked in, speaking of malls, I love malls. We walked into Roosevelt Field Mall in Garden City, New York.
Yeah.
He saw a sea of people.
Yeah.
Looks at me and goes, I'll meet you in the car. And chucks $20 to $40. And I went to Foot Locker. And maybe I was 12.
Well, 12 it's fine, but yeah, it's like I get it, man.
It's so, but this is never.
And also, like the more stories you talk about your dad, the more I understand why he was out earlier. Like a lot. Every single story is like, I don't want to fucking be here. I'm out of here. I'll be in the car.
Hold on. Police found inside the car's driver's side door compartment a loaded, unsecured handgun. Holy shit, dude.
Do you have a gun yet? We talked about maybe getting a gun.
You one time called me up and you said it was a bit, and you said, you want to go halvesies on a gun.
Hey, I gave you a great bit. I was on TV. It was a great bit.
And
what show was that on that you put it on?
Maybe Conan. I don't know.
Conan.
But you. No, I never got a gun. I don't. Would you get a gun?
I would get a gun if I lived in the suburbs for sure.
Suburbs, I don't know. Rural.
Have you ever you've shot guns? I like shotguns. Yeah.
I shot guns in New Hampshire when I was married. I went out. It's so funny. It was like the husbands of my ex-wife's friends. And they all had guns.
That's
convoluted. Yeah.
That's, by the way, since the last podcast, Sean's divorced.
Oh, we forgot. Yeah.
We'll talk about that on the Patreon. Anyone who's a Might Up Friends fan, listen to the Patreon, and we're going to update everybody on everything.
Yes.
But yeah, Sean's divorced.
So it was fun. Like, we shot guns in New Hampshire years ago. And afterwards, they were like, you want to get one now, don't you? I'm like, not really. I'm like, if I had one of these, I would not want one of these. But if I lived, like we talked about, rural, I would get a gun.
But you probably need it more here. Like in rural, it's like, what are you going to kill a coyote?
No, I'm saying like response time of the cops. Yeah, like a coyote or like a bear shows up, or you can even just to scare them away. Or the plot of The Strangers happens. Liv Tyler.
God, that movie is great. They just had a new one that came out. Apparently sucked.
I heard it sucked. Yeah, I heard it was bad. So basically, this guy just gets arrested immediately, right?
I think so.
A weapons charge may also be forthcoming.
Well, he's probably out now because he's 32.
When the boy,
he's a fucking hard-looking 32, guys. Dude, he looks like, I'm 40, and he looks my age for sure.
He looks rough, dude.
If not a little bit older than me.
What do you think it is? You think it's just people just like how they're brought up, and it's just how they're raised, and you don't have any common sense?
Dude.
He's 32, that guy?
That guy's 32. That guy. Life is hard, man.
Life is hard.
Life is really hard.
Jesus, that's fucking crazy.
I don't think it's. I think that guy will be dead by the time he's like 40.
Do you really think at one point you'll get a gun? You'll just get a gun if you.
For sure.
Really?
For sure, dude. Yeah, I'm a big gun guy. I'm starting to get more gun guy. I used to be. We'll talk about that on the Patreon too. And I was a lot more liberal on the last show than I am. But I'm not a cancel culture comic, guys. All right, fucking. What's the next fucking? I already fucked it up.
It's okay, buddy. We're just friends here. It's not a big deal. This
is fucking great. Let's talk about piece of ass.
This is what happens when you don't eat your vegetables. This is what happens when you tell kids this is what shows up.
Dude, this fucking lady, trouble with dinners at restaurant, touching their food and their children. I guess I found this article. This lady would just go into the diners and like, touch him all, be like, what are you getting?
She's the old lady from Thinner.
Yeah. Mozzarella sticks. You're just the lead of your high school play, weren't you?
Also, like, is it illegal for police stations to have combs? Like, what is going on?
Combs?
Like or a brush?
She looks great. No, she doesn't look great. She looks fucking scary, man. Like, if you've seen this picture, wait, what's the name of the article? Sean or Pat?
She looks like she tried to steal the Holy Grail in Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade.
Yeah.
That's what happens to them. They just go to dust.
She looks like if you found Blair Witch at a Cracker Barrel.
Debbie is constantly coming into the store harassing customers, including touching their food.
Oh,
and this is in Sorrento, Florida. It was more like dirty dining than fine dining. Oh, I hate when they start off with a sassy.
Sorrento it's a suburb near Orlando, so you know it's fucking trash.
And the woman, restaurant employee, hold on. When a restaurant employee told the sheriff's office she was pushed and the woman who did it left the scene. The restaurant has an ongoing issues with the woman named Debbie. A deputy in Florida wrote in the arrest report on Sunday, May 12th, Debbie is constantly coming into the store and harassing the customers, including touching their food, the report continued. The victim warned Debbie that she would be trespassed and taken to jail. Today, Debbie came into the store again. It's like her diary. Yeah. Debbie was back today, going up to people and touching their food and their children. Just putting mashed potatoes in his head.
Doing that fucking close encounters scene. Speaking of Richard Dreyfuss later on.
That's an extra level of creepy when you touch kids, when you touch, like, even if it is like an old lady like that, where it's like it would be harmless otherwise, but if you're touching food and touching the kid's head.
Excuse me.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the extra level of creepy when you're touching strangers' kids.
Debbie then intentionally pushed the victim in the chest area, attempting to pass her to get to another customer. That's got to be rough if you're that other customer. Just like, Like, who's that fucking that monster coming to me?
But it's one of those things where it's like, what is the politeness factor in the South where it's like, can you just block her from coming? Can't she be banned? Can't people be banned?
In Florida, I thought you could be shot for this.
Right, exactly. Where's the little 9-year-old with the gun to shoot this lady?
Yeah. Where's a fucking? By the way, white guys, of course. If you guys were wondering.
White guys, what?
If you guys were wondering what complexion this woman was, it's white. You can't get away with this shit if you're a person of color. That's my one liberal thing I'll say. You can't be like fucking, Aunt Jemima coming in there and they just fucking shoot you in the face.
But it's so funny that like they get to know her and they know her name, like Debbie's back.
Debbie.
It's like the worst sitcom character ever. Debbie's back and she's touching food again.
Debbie brought her own matzo balls.
Guys, hide your kids, guys, because Debbie's gonna touch the nachos and then touch their hair.
Florida Debbie.
Florida Debbie. And also, like, this is like, man, how many of these stories in the podcast are just gonna be Florida? That seems to be where the most.
Well, I wanted to make sure it wasn't our first one because, but then I saw her face and I was like, God, this is gonna be like a lot of female comedians we know are gonna end up like this.
What should happen?
No, I'm serious. Like some of them, like you think that you don't think that woman's done an open mic before, Debbie? You look at the picture of the Debbie.
1,000% she did.
She probably fucking fucked Jeff Foxworthy. Or something. Fucking oil. Her face is like an oil painting.
If she walks in your restaurant, you should go from an A to a C on the sketch on the.
You know what she reminds me of? Like seriously, she reminds me of from There's Something About Mary.
Oh yeah, the landlord.
The tits, yeah.
Oh, that's from Oh yes, right. Same lady.
Same lady.
And the one from Kingpin,
she's great in Kingpin.
Same kind of.
What's her name again? Then
I don't even know. She's great though. But that's
good.
worrisome. Like if I see Debbie. Like, I wouldn't think Debbie existed. Like, if you saw Debbie come into your restaurant, wouldn't you think, you're like, oh, it's the beginning of a stroke. I'm dying. Wouldn't you be like,
Debbie's gonna usher me into the underworld. It does feel like she should be coming in with like a black coat and being like,
it's like Ghost with Patrick Swayze. It's like one of those black figures that just takes you in.
What's that? I just watched that movie again.
Let me touch your grilled chicken sandwich.
I loved Ghost, man. Even though my wife's like, this is lame, and I'm like, my mom just fucking died. Just enjoy this with me.
Wait a minute. It was my mom's favorite.
It was what I bought, and I was like, and my wife was like, yeah, this sucks. I was like, shut up. But anyway, we love each other, me and my wife. No, it's she's gonna get annoyed now that we always do this. It's like, what are we gonna talk about now that I'm married and you're sitting? It's like I'm already having a fucking attitude. All right. Number 3. I said we'll just go back and
it's totally
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. This is from Smyrna, Tennessee, folks. Which I didn't. Okay. Man arrested for hiding cameras in Smyrna store bathroom. This is crazy. This guy, it was a restaurant called Southern Charm.
Yeah, Smyrna police arrested the owner of a vintage shop for placing hidden cameras in his store's bathroom. Bruce Burgess, which sounds like a radio DJ from the 60s, of Laverne, was arrested November 2nd and charged with photographing in violation of privacy and observation without consent. Burgess owns My Southern Charm on Gill Street. And this could not get creepy.
No, it's so creepy. And it's always like My Southern Charm. It's always the places that sound like quaint that end up being horror shows. Like you go to Tiny Wonders and then you find out in the back some of the lamps there was like a glory hole and like a mannequin.
They find chopped up body parts in the back of his store. Bless your heart.
My Southern Charm. You go down and it's all like slave art. It's all minstrel fucking stuff you find. It's all what Toby Keith was clutching as he died.
Well, dude, I have a story about this of somebody I worked with. I've told you this story.
No, but what
I won't say the guy's name, and I'm pretty sure he's dead now. I'll tell you the whole story real quick. I had a guy open for me on the road once in Ohio, and he originally was from outside Detroit. And so big guy, probably 600-pound guy. We got to be friendly, really weird guy, but we got to be friendly over the course of the weekend. It was a casino gig. Wasn't
Is this like a Kaiser Soze thing where I realize you're the guy by the end of the
No, it's not. No. Okay. And we end up, it's fine, whatever. He tells me, oh, my home club is Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. I go, cool, I've never been. 3 years later, But this guy, we're doing the shows. He was the feature. At the end of every one of his sets, he would go, I just want to take this time to tell everybody, 3 years ago, I was in a car accident. And I survived. I was supposed to die.
Ugh.
And I told God, if you let me survive, I'll pursue my dream of doing stand-up comedy. And
God's like, all right, I was going to kill you, but we need one more of those.
So I was like, and then he's getting a riotous applause, standing ovations, and then I had to go after that.
Oh, what a fucking asshole.
Asshole. But whatever, nice enough guy, kind of a sad guy. Turns out, I end up at Mark Ridley's about 2 or 3 years later. I see the manager. I go, hey, I worked with one of your comics, one of your boys over in Ohio. And I said the guy's name, and he goes, he ain't our boy. Turns out this guy, this big boy, was putting these cameras in bathrooms like this. And the way they found out is he did it at his in-laws' house or something, and the kids had a pool party. And that's when they found it. And then he went to jail, and I told the story in front of Jeff Sheen, and very nonchalant, Jeff Sheen goes, yeah, I think he's dead. And he just walks away.
That's actually, it's probably good for him.
It's like, fuck him.
I mean,
but
that's
it's
what,
still weird to
what's
say
it
that.
called? Everyone gets in trouble for that because, it's a predatory behavior. But, like, I guess Jared from Subway had the other guy he was running the foundation with, he had him.
Watch that whole thing.
Yeah, he had him take, by the way, guys, Jared from Subway, crazy guy. To put him mildly, but I guess it was like the guy's daughters and her friends.
Yes.
And stuff.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no, Jared from Subway, like I don't say this, like is an evil monster.
But by the way, Jared, like when you get out of a show, make this your first podcast back, because we're really looking for our big celebrity. You know how Amy Schumer had was the bald hot chick, the black chick?
Who?
Amber Rose.
Oh,
Jared Fogel's going to be our Amber Rose.
It's very on brand for us. There's Subways all over the suburbs.
He could do the intro. Welcome to Burbsbros.
But so I think this happens all the time. You ever see those things online? Before we get to the next one,
Yeah.
You ever see those things online where people will go to Airbnbs and they give you a tip on how to tell if it's a two-way mirror?
Oh, Jesus.
You put your finger up to the mirror, and if you can see a space in between, it's real. If you can't, or whatever one.
I immediately forgot what you just said as you were saying that to me.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because there's a horror movie called Rental
I've
with
heard
Dave
that.
Franco.
Never saw it.
And it's similar thing where it's a guy because you don't know who's behind, like who's renting these things. It could be a whole made up alias or something like that.
Absolutely, and I think there was tons of stories, people being filmed. People put cameras everywhere, and you can do it under the guise that you're like, oh, I'm protecting my home, but they're doing like bathrooms and happens all the time.
Pat, where's the camera?
Your camera?
No, the camera that you hid in here.
At this point, you've probably been filmed in a bathroom, right?
Yeah, if I knew, I would have put on a show.
What would you have done?
Oh, shit! Fuck! Buffalo shrimp! Like whatever I was eating.
Any footage, I'll put it on the Patreon.
Yeah. If you guys want a $10 tier, you could see me fucking shitting at Aunt Annie's.
So
I don't think they even have bathrooms there. My bad. First episode, guys.
We mentioned Massachusetts before, and like I said, some places are pretty liberal in Massachusetts.
Pretty liberal.
What Provincetown you have, and
Very gay.
very gay.
Provincetown.
But apparently, your boy Richard Dreyfuss was at a Jaws event. Because it's kind of like Richard Dreyfuss really took.
Richard Dreyfuss every time he's in the news, he's getting canceled. By the way,
Yes. But it's also like, talk about uncancelable. Like, you really can't. What are you going to do to Richard Dreyfuss? Like, he's basically
you take his food away. Like, theater apologizes for offensive remarks made by Richard Dreyfuss at Jaws event. If you guys don't know the story about Richard Dreyfuss, he is like everyone in Hollywood hates him. He can't get work anymore.
Yeah.
Because he's like from an age when it was like really easy to be like a white guy in the 70s, and if you had a modicum of talent, you could be like a big thing because there wasn't as many people doing it. And now, like, no one getting work. Well, what did he say? Do we have the actual like what he said?
Because there's multiple stories about him being like, back in 2023, he went off about diversity in Hollywood in some speech. So basically what he does, they're inviting him to come talk about a shark movie from the 70s. And he just goes off. He's using it as a stage to talk about his political views, which is pretty hilarious.
He talks about he got in trouble for being transphobic at a Jaws.
At a Jaws? At a Jaws?
If you've seen Jaws, there's not one trans person in it.
Except maybe where they go, it's a tiger show, and the guy goes, oh, what?
Oh, what? A day?
He's also accused of making disparaging remarks about Barbara Streisand.
Do we have the actual fucking
They're not telling us what he said.
God, I just want to see if he called like the Great White Jew or something. We were talking about that beforehand. Like, what did he do?
I said it wasn't Jaws. It was Jews.
Jews. He was like, he's all right. Yeah, dude. There's got to be something here.
He full on. The funniest thing is they mentioned that Barbara Streisand. I would love the person that's like on board with everything until he got to Barbara Streisand, and they're like, "That's it."
Whoa! It's like some gay guy's racist and transphobic.
I heard something about
if I can find some.
Barbara Streisand.
These guys are so they have it so fucking easy.
Oh, here we go. What's it? Oh, is this? Oh, this is the comments. Oh, this is so...
No, we need to. I heard a cat, by the way. All right.
Oh yeah, here we go.
His iconic roles include oceanographer.
Jaws is one of the greatest movies ever.
It's fantastic. I went and saw The Shark is Broken, or whatever it was called.
I heard it's great.
It's great, but I will
The son is playing Quinn, right?
Yeah, Robert Shaw's. But the guy who plays Richard Dreyfuss is amazing. But the undertone of it is that he's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And he's a Hollywood.
Can we get some? Do we have a YouTube clip of Richard Dreyfuss's worst fucking quotes, or like, because he's notorious for this. Like every time he gets some momentum, he says something. Richard Dreyfuss is an asshole.
There you go. It's is that a
Oscar? Richard Dreyfuss breaks down after meeting Robert Shaw's granddaughter. Oh well, that's gonna be too.
Yeah. I don't go to movies anymore. Yeah,
there's too many
That's
blacks.
not too bad. That's annoying, but it's like that's just somebody in Brooklyn annoying. I wish we had.
He just becomes.
Wait. There's this. Attendee describes painful Richard Dreyfuss rant at Jaws screening. I think we're fine. Oh, Haley Jackson. She's my favorite. She's my celebrity crush.
Haley Jackson's so hot.
I follow her on Instagram. She's married, kids. I'm happily married, by the way. I'm just saying, if Sarah left me, I would probably try to go for Haley Jackson.
You would get your MSNBC show, Haley and Danny.
Haley Jackson. Here we go.
Inside the room where a Q&A with an Oscar-winning actor took a, unexpected turn. You see Richard Dreyfuss here, coming out on stage after...
What is he wearing? Is he for real?
He's wearing an apron? Oh, he's trying to be a chick, I think.
He put a dress on to make the point about trans people?
There's no video he actually said, but our Chloe Malas talked with somebody in the room who said they were stunned about what went on.
You can't see this video. Richard, okay, can you pause for a second? Richard Dreyfuss comes in a dress, dancing, sashaying, and the theater
run over
and rip the dress off him. This is like how things are going to end for me, I think. This is these two like fucking like artsy lesbians from Beverly, Mass are like, fuck, we got to get this fucking dress off Richard Dreyfuss.
So you know what happened, right? What happened was they had dresses in the back because of the theater.
It's like, oh, everyone's a woman now. I want to show everybody. I want to show.
He goes, I'll show them.
I'll show them.
I'm Richard. I'm trans now. Get it? And he also has like a cane to make it even worse.
Oh my god!
The worst version of Clint Eastwood.
By the way, I would not have bought tickets to this unless I knew this was happening, and then I would be there in the front row. I would throw him a dress. You know.
But it's also like the thing. Like it's just it doesn't matter that he's doing it. Like nobody really cares. Yeah. It's just. Nobody's like, oh, like there's nobody on the other side of
this girl. This girl looks like a lot of fun, by the way. He's commenting on it. Holy shit!
Wait, can we go back? And
Jesus Christ! Just in case you didn't like Richard Dreyfuss enough, there's this girl to.
But it's not like he's a right wing hero.
Intended to be
everyone hates him.
Lighthearted evening about Jaws.
That's a rough.
Shut up, Salem with this is Sarah Hogg, everybody, on NBC News Now. Like, what do you? This is a guy who has dementia, who doesn't even know what
Comments. It was painful and dehumanizing.
Dehumanizing.
Chloe Malas is joining us now.
Shark. It's either a shark has a dick or a pussy. And it's a male. It's a male shark or a female shark.
Everything sharks goes. There are two shark genders.
There are two shark genders. This girl's like mortified. Oh my god! What about the non-binary great whites?
Mocking fashion sits down and.
These people are, it's like, what did you think bringing Richard Dreyfuss is this thing? The guy's an animal. Like, we look at the picture of him and he's just like.
Well, that's why apparently. So in the article, it talks about the theater like profusely apologized. And they go, we did not, it does not fit with our values, and we take full responsibility for booking Richard Dreyfuss.
One of the reasons I want this podcast to be something successful is I think our first show we should have Richard Dreyfuss come on. I want to give him all the political I want to see what he thinks about Palestine, all the hot button issues. Richard, tell us what's going on.
Well, you know the thing about Richard Dreyfuss and Bill Murray and What About Bob, and the reason why it's such a great chemistry between them is they despised each other. Like, Bill Murray would beat the shit out of Richard.
Did he fight him?
Would hit him with like a statue once or something crazy.
Wow.
And then they would get into it, and he was really good on Richard Dreyfuss's nerves. And nobody liked Richard Dreyfuss, like you said, but Bill Murray also did like get in his face. He's like known for it, Bill Murray.
Well, that's the thing is Bill Murray's kind of known to be an asshole. So
yeah, he is.
It's like my we were talking about this before, and I texted my dad is a writer, and he wrote with Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah.
And I have some stories, which I can't go into, but I was like, what do you want me to say? He goes, just say I wasn't a fan. I forget what my dad's exact wording was.
Your dad's a really good guy, and that's a very polite way to be like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, when we get to you're like, you can just say we didn't get along, and then I'm not a fan afterward. Again, I got it right.
And you know what ends up happening is this: these guys, their whole careers are assholes, and then when you throw old into it, that's what you get here.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like Bill Murray now, all this stuff that comes out, but even in Quick Change,
by the way, it doesn't seem that bad. The stuff that came out on Bill Murray was like,
dude, Quick Change was a fantastic.
Well, let's talk about the thing he got canceled for like a couple weeks.
Well, he would like full on hump Gina Davis on the set of Quick Change.
That's the one with the clown, right?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I didn't know that one. This is another story.
Yeah, he was like sexually harassing her hardcore. And then there's clip of them on like Arsenio Hall back in the 90s.
Just
and he's
flipping
like,
her tits.
I don't know about that, but he's up on her. And then somebody was like, "Is this what it was like on the shoot?" The host was like, "This is what it like on the shoot?" And she was like, "Pretty much every day."
Oh,
and like she was just like, "Yep."
Arsenio's the greatest because he would have a guess if you had a compilation. He had like Jason Voorhees, the Ultimate Warrior. He was like everybody like. You could just come on as your character as in Arsenio.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and even
Macho was on.
But also remember there was a point where he was like, wasn't he like beating Carson? Like he was known as like the young person show back then.
Yeah. He had a couple of years where he was like, they probably should have given him more. When you think about like how much fucking like shows we've even been on that like probably got like getting a fifth of what Arsenio got then. And are still on because of I'm not going to fit. I'm not going to keep draw the blanks, guys. We'll get the numbers.
It was probably 15 million people a week watching the show. It was
it's like Tonight Show gets a million, and Greg Gutfeld is killing it as 2 million.
Is it 2? I thought it was more than that.
That's what I heard. Anyway.
But it makes so much sense with Gutfeld because like everybody's like, oh yeah, he's the biggest late night show, and I'm like, yeah, it's because it's everybody who watches live TV still is the age that would watch Gutfeld. And people watch Fallon clips the next day. But Fallon, dude, remember when he took it over and everybody was like, "What is going to happen to this show?" It's like, and then he made it his own, and it was like actually worked out. But then everyone just stopped watching TV completely. There was a while when he had like 5 million a week, I think. Fallon.
We'll do it for 30,000 guys tonight. If you want to put us on,
we just need views.
Destination
guys.
America.
We need you.
Late night
we'll do Kamau Bell.
I would have Dreyfuss as like my Questlove.
You would
take it away.
Caitlyn
Jenner's a man.
Can we do that with the podcast? We have a band leader, and it's just Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss and Jared Fogle.
Our Paul.
The two-man band, Jared and Richard Dreyfuss.
It's just them jamming.
I bet you Jared's a better hang than Richard Dreyfuss. Wouldn't you think so? If you want, like I'm saying, look, he's a worse person than Richard Dreyfuss. But 6-hour car trip, Richard Dreyfuss or Jared Fogle, who are you in that 6 hours with?
I'm probably going Fogle.
Exactly, right? Most he's going to be like, hey, got a niece? And you're like, shut up, Jared. Like, all right. Richard Dreyfuss is going to be like, this car, it's a Black's car. He's just going to be saying stuff.
Richard Dreyfuss is going to go, what does your niece identify as?
Yes. Oh, my God. I was Mr. Holland's Opus. Do you remember? Have you remember Mr. Holland's Opus? He's like tries to fuck the girl, and then like the big reward in that movie is that like he stays with his wife. He like meets some hot high school chick, and he's supposed to be a hero because he doesn't fuck her.
Yeah.
And then he goes back, and his kid is deaf. The whole thing is a Richard Dreyfuss fantasy. Like he's a music teacher. His kid's deaf. He can't listen to so he's got to like do like colors. It's just, and then like he's like, I didn't fuck that beautiful pussy, so I'm a hero. I'm. You know,
it's almost like Beautiful Girls. You watch Beautiful Girls is a good movie, but now you couldn't like Natalie Portman. I think has been like, yeah, I watched it later on. It's kind of weird.
I don't know what that movie is.
Timothy Hutton and he's like, and Natalie Portman's like 15, and they're into each other, but nothing happens.
I remember that movie.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah,
shit! Yeah, Timothy Hutton's great.
He's great, and he's kind of not. I guess he's probably on TV stuff.
He was on, he was on the first season of American Crime. It was awesome.
He's really great actor, but the movie itself, you couldn't make it now because they'd be like, he's grooming this kid. But back then,
Timothy,
like,
anytime you want to come on the show,
it's kind of like a Harold and Maude thing or something. But then, yeah.
Well, it's not predatory when it's a dude. That's what I heard. That's why my theater teacher got away with it in high school.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, if it's a guy. If it's
she was like, she got away with it.
Yeah, that happens.
That happens a lot. Like she left, they like confronted her, and she ran out. And then, I swear to God.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'll tell oof. But like they had the messages, and they're like, "Did you fuck this? Fuck this?" And she's like, she like ran out. But if it was a dude, she would be in jail. But because she was a woman, it's fine.
But also, I know the hack way to go is everybody's like, I wish that happened to me in high school, right? Whatever it is.
It depends on how old you are. If you're 17, you do. If you're like 11, then it's like woman's a rapist.
Yes, but even like the if you watch a lot of the pictures, the ones who do it, the female teachers they're very attractive. A lot of the time, and I'm always like,
yeah, dude.
And then like you always wonder,
took the words right out of my mouth.
Do you think you would have spoke up if you were the kid? I think it's always found out by the parents.
This one girl who did it in my high school, like I always thought she was hitting on me, and then when it happened, I was like, fuck. I think it was right.
The teacher
she was hot too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, she was probably just in her 20s.
She was in her mid 20s.
Yeah.
She was younger than I am now.
That's why it happens so much now because, right?
Probably still looks great.
Still hot, but it's one of these things where it's like if you think about it, the reason it happens a lot now is because people in their 20s are younger and younger acting. Like back then you did like they did seem older. If you were 25 and I was 17, you did, and you're a teacher. I remember thinking like, oh, you're so old. Or 25 is so old.
But it's like 5 years older now, and it's like
it's 5 years older, but like you're still probably they like kind of act the same. Like they might still be living at home. They might be, you know what I mean? Like
a lot of that is like whether they fuck or not. Like there's so many it's like a girl is always attracted to an older guy, but then she fucks the guy, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I've seen Superman's cape." You know what I mean? Like
right.
I talked
to pull back the curtain.
Right? It's like I'm not into this anymore.
Yeah, it's like it becomes like it's almost a fetish type deal.
Yeah, like oh shit, he's just as broken as my 17-year-old.
He's just sad. He's just sad 46-year-old.
Yeah, he's sad. He didn't fucking make it. What a fucking. Anyway, Richard Dreyfuss, you're always welcome on the show.
I think that might be a good section for the show. We're working these things out. 6-hour car rides should be part of
Mr. Holland's Patreon. I don't know what that was.
I don't either, but I thought.
All right, on to the next one.
That was the Cabot one.
This is from Evansville, Indiana. Where's the camera? Where I went to college, Evansville, University of Evansville. This one's a city and suburb, so it qualifies as both. I think it's a suburb because the biggest thing they have in a city here, and I'll look up the Casino Astar. It's a casino river gambling boat. Wait, look at this. This is how I call this a suburb because we'll get Casino Astar is like where we would go and like. Yeah, that's the biggest thing we had in this town was this.
This is it's an actual casino?
It's a casino on a riverboat, yeah.
Oh, yeah. My buddy worked on one of those, like somewhere. He
just get fucking tanked in Evansville, Indiana.
He bartended on one of those in New York.
Yeah, dude, just get tanked.
Would you go there?
I was too drunk usually to get there, but one of the games that they played.
You forget it was a boat casino.
Look at how fucking grimy that shit is. One of the things, one of the games they had was like a chicken. You bet on where the chicken laid an egg on like a 9. and they would just drunkenly like put out a chicken, and then like.
That's like from Buster Scruggs.
It's Buster Scruggs, and it's that Vegas Vacation. It's the same shit.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. It's just these old timey Southerner games, like these old or whatever, like,
bro.
middle redneck game.
This is like right next to, like, where were we? We were in Hendersonville, which is Kentucky, and there was a like. We would go to breakfast there, and there was a sign that said, "Don't come in here. We have pit bull with AIDS." It was like that backwards. They're like, "We have a gay AIDS-ridden dog who's going to attack you if you come here."
Like, that's the humor.
That was like, yeah, because it was like 2000. It was like before gay marriage was even legal. Bunch of animals, man. Evansville, Indiana. I went to school there. I went with Rami Malek, who has had a bit of a better career than me, I will say.
Mr. Robot, Freddie Mercury.
Mr. AIDS Robot.
Mr. AIDS Robot.
Anyway, so this story, this woman's like this girl, 8-year-old, named the world's youngest drone videographer. Kind of a nice story, but also kind of
scary.
Kind of scary.
Like if it wasn't America, this would be like she'd be like recruited by one of the.
She's dope, dude. Raytheon or Lockheed Martin is for sure sending her shit. Like, she knows where the bodies are buried.
And also, like, you know what? That picture of her and her there's a picture of her and her teacher holding the certificate up, and she looks very happy. And she's very cute. She's very very nice looking. But the thing about it is, it looks like a photo in an apocalyptic movie when, like, they send the person back to find out the origins of why AI took over. It's like that would be
the picture.
That would be the
hey, can I see that picture again? Sorry, Pat. This is also like not the kind of picture you don't want to put up in an Afghan wedding. Who killed everyone at this wedding? Oh, it's
this 8-year-old.
Yeah, this 8-year-old. Her name. Oh, she's actually a hero. What's this lady's name again? Pat.
The CIA just takes her on as like.
Wait, Pat. What's her name again?
Her name.
Her name. Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't misgender her.
Hold on, Indiana 8-year-old.
Louisa Royer.
Yeah.
Louisa Royer. She's 8-year-old. She just fucking wipes out a whole town in Kabul.
End of the article.
Kabul. Talk about suburbs. Burbsbros.
Burbs says. End of the article. They go. Weirdly, she's gone off the grid. We can.
We found some blueprints.
They Jason Bourne her. she literally, she's in the middle of, she's just where's our war now that she could be there. Just
she's well, you know, I guess Ukraine. She would be fucking. She'd probably go to Ukraine.
Yeah.
She got what, like 10 years, and she'll be out there, man. Get out there.
You're an Afghan.
Get out there, Louisa.
They just have
fucking save democracy.
Everybody in Afghanistan just has Louisa Royer photos with darts in them. She just becomes a warmonger.
Yeah, it's Lisa. Lisa Royer becomes their Bin Laden.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably a very sweet girl. But seriously, you're part of the military-industrial complex, Lisa, and you need to get your shit together because you're about to, like, fucking...
This is what Dwight D. Eisenhower warned us about.
This is what Eisenhower worries about. This is also why we don't have... Jared Fogle on the show. Like, she should come on, do an interview. Shut up, Jared. She's fucking CIA and you're still a pedophile. All right.
What a cast of characters on this show. Huh?
Oh, my goodness.
Look, Great brought her drone along on trips to Europe, Japan, Australia, South Korea. Yeah.
What
a cover this
How
is.
many fucking... Wait, did you ever go to the, like, stories like that? I remember in high school, like, a bunch of kids went to Spain. I didn't go to there. But did you ever go to foreign nations, anything?
Not in grammar school or high school. No. I went to Ireland because we were in an ad for whiskey.
That's right.
And then I went to Canada.
But this is like Europe, Japan, Australia, South Korea. None of these places are close to one another.
Louisa Royer, she's an Evans Day School third grader, brought her, I was laughing when I said this, brought her drone along on trips to Europe, Japan, Australia, South Korea, and her teacher encouraged her to submit footage to film festivals. Like, that's insane. Like, that would be... I think what we know about the CIA, this is not that far-fetched that they have an asset.
I think that I think she's getting recruited right now. You know?
She's like, and she wants to go to Gaza for some reason. She's interested in... She's interested in
She's a can this year.
She's a can with Killer footage.
Canada. What's your movie about in Canada? Oh, it's just me blowing up a hospital.
It's just grainy.
In
gray
Jordan.
footage. It's just people getting obliterated.
Like her family is. Anyway, we really shouldn't know this girl's name. She is 8.
Yeah.
So like
That is weird. They have the whole name.
Let's do something fun. Boba Fett action figure 525. No, we look. Congratulations, you're going to be a great murderer later, Lisa. Someday.
I wish I just picture,
Thank you for being the new antagonist in Homeland.
Picture her behind the controls of the drone, just using the terminology. Just her just going locked in.
Yeah.
Fire. Whatever.
You think she
what
has
do they
like
say?
like Paw Patrol 7-4. She like still is in all these like kid stuff, but she's killing like all these civilians.
They tell her it's the Paw Patrol video game.
Oh, now I can do it. She fucking kills them all.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
What a nutbag.
Holy shit.
All right, well we got to do Zillow, right?
We got to do Zillow, and then we're going to get out of here.
It's a fun first episode, guys. Dan's a little rusty. I've been just talking about wrestling for the last couple of years, so this is fun. This sounded fun the way I just said it, by the way.
This is fun. Thanks for having me. It was fun. That's how you sounded. Can we bring up the? I have one from where you grew up.
Yes.
You were a resident of Pound Ridge, New Jersey at one point, and I was.
All right.
I'm a resident.
So okay, I'm gonna do. Okay, this is the. You want me to do Pound Ridge first or Hack Green? Which one's your place?
Pound Ridge.
Okay, so Pound Ridge is where I went to high school. Beautiful place, by the way, Pound Ridge. Can we quote? Yeah, that one, Pat. Can you open that one?
Yeah,
Let's see what you get. Well, you don't get a lot for.
Well, here's the thing.
$725. See, this is a fucking expensive area,
and it's a 1-floor house, right?
1-floor house. How many bedrooms is that? 3, dude.
3 bedrooms.
That's like in fucking like Pennsylvania. That's a $200,000 house.
1,000%, and also 2,658 square feet. That's basically 2 big queens apartments because it's all one level.
I mean, it's nice.
It looks nice. It looks, but.
Wait a minute. Wait, what's the?
Look,
okay, I want to see. Like, it looks like a house I used to party at. Like, but it's not that. It's not. It's
like,
not
did I black out?
Yeah, did I black out? I mean, it's the cool thing about this though is that you are an hour out from. We'd be the shittiest real estate agents.
Yeah,
you are an hour outside the city, and it is beautiful. But like for $750,000, it's just not.
It looks like it looks,
but it's gorgeous.
It's nice looking. That whole area is nice, but it's weird that it's like it looks like one big. Not a trailer, but $725,000 for that. I can't. What do they say? 3 bedrooms? Yeah, that's
done up pretty well. Like it's a good floor plan. I would.
Everything was very clean, right? I think like they modernized it, but kept like that looks old but new at the same time to me, right?
Well,
or is it just good photos?
Pound Ridge is just beautiful. Like the city, the town itself, like where you can hike, and if you have like a dog, like if you get like a lab or a golden. It's great.
And you would consider it suburban, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
I mean,
can you drive 5 minutes to a store? There's a store right down the block from here.
I would say there's 5 minutes you can drive to a store. Yeah, but there's not a lot in Pound Ridge. There's like Pound Ridge. They got a fucking grocery store that I worked at, a gas station that I also worked at. They probably have a couple restaurants. And that's it. And a Chinese place. It's not like a lot. It's a pretty rural. It's a pretty rural suburb.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's the difference in. Like it's still suburban, but it's kind of rural.
Well, we see the one more, and then I'm sorry. What's the one next to it, Pat? Then we'll go to
780.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Well, that's also a lot of land.
2 bedrooms.
Is that like a water? Is it like a?
That's you get like a little lake.
2 bedrooms. Look at that. That's tiny though, dude.
It's
1,400
tiny.
square feet is tiny.
But you know what? This is for like because I don't have fucking kids, so I never have to worry about like.
Yeah, but for the dog.
I can go find some place like this in Pennsylvania.
Yes, that's the thing.
But nowhere in Pennsylvania is going to look as nice as it's outside, like where Pound Ridge looks, which I'm sure I'm going to get a bunch of shit from people listening.
From Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I know. I just was in Poconos. I loved it, guys, but like some of the outsides is a little rough. Maybe I'm sure you'll prove me.
It's got a good layout, but it's like I would say when I was in Sunnyside, my apartment we had one of like these old pre-war building, and I would say our apartment was probably 1,100 to 1,200 square feet. If I had to guess, it was big.
This is the one that where was this?
On 46th Street.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was over 1,000. And this
that was a big apartment.
It was a big apartment. It was 1 bedroom, but it was
a big apartment.
And so you kind of take that plus a little bit, and you have this. But you also they're not including like. See, look at this. This is
That's
the other one I sent you. I think.
Jesus
right?
Christ.
This is look $2 million.
That's
but you're kind of like
3 bedrooms.
How is it only 3 bedrooms? That house.
That was like
That's like
Michael.
a castle.
There's a lot of famous people who live in Pound Ridge. That was probably like there was like looks like Michael Crichton's house or something. No, he lived in Mount
Jurassic Park paid for this.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous home, but
It is.
But you know what's so funny? It's like
Weirdly, 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms.
yeah, that's just one just for shitting.
Do you think the family that lives in this house has a? Hey guys, this is the shitting bathroom.
Yeah, this is where Dan lives. We'll get that.
Dan has his own bathroom. Nobody's allowed in it.
I mean, the problem is
Look at that
both
shower.
with Westchester and Long Island, you're just not going to get any bang for your buck. But let's look at the Long Island ones.
I had a couple of Garden City I sent.
By the way, please check out the video version of this episode.
Yes. Which we're gonna do. We're doing.
Yeah.
All right, so
let's go to Long Island.
This is the Kingsbury.
Is this where you grew up, Sean?
Kingsbury. That's which one?
Kingsbury?
No, Kingsbury's the road. Yeah,
Well,
but it should be
pulling
Garden
it up.
City.
Yeah, I got it.
I was gonna say
both
this.
Sean and my wife are from Long Island.
Let me ask you this, Dan.
Yeah.
Well, you can get it's a 3-bedroom house, but you're able to have like a basement that you're able to do whatever you want. Like or what's
Jesus, why would you market that for me?
I didn't mean it that way. I meant
You
like,
just no one can hear you scream down there.
no, but it's called the Fogel room.
There's cameras set up everywhere.
No, but what I'm trying to say is, what's the one thing like at a house you can't do in an apartment that at a house you're like, I'm putting this into the house or I'm paying for this for that. Like, what's the most important room?
Backyard for me for the dogs. The
Okay.
gated backyard.
Gated backyard.
Pretty easy.
Just to have them run around.
Just so they can run around and
Yeah.
have a great life.
Mine would be like movie room where you don't have to worry about
Like Tony Soprano's one.
like kind of like that, but even better. Like even like because now Sopranos 20 some odd years ago, and the TVs were like old now. When you watch it now, you got these gigantic like movie stuff.
I mean, that would be great. I just I watch so much fucking shit on my laptop.
Yeah. So look at this. This is from where I'm. It's expensive where I am.
It's
So
like both areas are
where
so
I'm
expensive.
from is super suburban. Like
This is
so look how close
post-war.
the houses are together. So by where you are,
I don't know what that means. I say like, post-war model. Like I don't know what that means.
I think it means like 50s.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
I think
well,
they
it
mean
definitely
World War
is post-war.
II. Yeah. They don't do post or pre-war with any of the other
This
wars.
is pre-Civil War.
Yeah. This is a post-Afghanistan war
Yeah.
house.
Um,
This is at 16 Kingsbury Road. It's $1.2 million, 2,000 square feet, 2 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms. It's nice looking, but $1.2 million.
dude, don't if you don't have kids, which neither you and I have kids.
Yeah.
Don't
do it.
Don't go somewhere else.
You go outside.
This is in outside Dallas. This is like a $400,000 house.
Right. You get 2 of these.
Yeah.
For $800,000, whatever the hell. It's insane. So that's but you're also
And I don't like it's too like it's it's like in the front. It's too intimidating. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, the houses are very close together. This is about 30 minutes from Manhattan with no traffic.
So an hour. I mean, like
Well, it's
you're
now,
missing
yeah. But back in the day, I really could do it. Like I used to commute to Upper East Side, and I used to get home in 23 minutes. It was
That's
crazy.
awesome.
But that's 20 years ago.
That's also probably like at 11 o'clock at night.
It was 3. It was yes, but it was still like it was still when there was times that didn't have traffic. Now it's traffic 24 hours a day.
Let's see another Long Island, Pat.
There should be one more that's a biggie. That's I forget what road it was. Oh, is that it? Oh, that must be it. Oh, this is the town.
This is really nice, but again, it's like fucking This is $750,000, 3 bedrooms.
Yes.
So this is a better deal than the Pound Ridge
And
one.
this is so where I went. Like the schools are really good where I went in Garden City, but only our block in Stewart Manor because this is actually where I'm from. It's Chester Avenue, Stewart Manor, and it's only 6 blocks.
It's like a hippy dippy backyard.
Yeah, it's not actually. That's a nice looking backyard. But they make in these photos, they make them look so. If you showed up, you'd probably be like, "Oh, this is kind of underwhelming." It looks very old.
That's the job. Yeah, there's always some.
Like this looks very, very my area.
That looks shitty. I can bet you that's way shittier.
If
you
you
go-
walk in, yeah.
Yeah, that kitchen is shitty.
But it just shows you how overpriced these places are.
Dude, just moved out the grid, man. Moved to fucking Pennsylvania or South Carolina or
I would go Raleigh.
who gives a shit?
I'd love to go
Hey,
Raleigh. Raleigh, I love.
What is the fucking queen in that room? There's a British chair.
It looks. There's just an Airbnb vibe to this whole
Hey,
house.
it's me, Russell Brand. This is my room. Don't tell anybody.
Like it looks nice though. The outside
That's
looks
cool. Like I would love my dogs to be running around there. They would have a fun time.
But dude, look at it. It's only 1,300 square feet. That's like a big apartment.
I would, yeah. At that point, it's like, what's the point?
What's the point? You might.
You got to like, okay, now put this 3-bedroom in the Poconos, Pat.
It's also
3-bedroom, 1-bath Poconos.
being close to the city is like I always thought of that as why those houses are so.
Yeah,
and the
go back
schools
to-
are supposedly good. I don't know about
See a
now. but-
similar Poconos, and then we'll move on, guys.
yeah.
Well, that's beautiful.
Hold on, ready? So we had two 700,000. One was the 2.2 million by you. One was 1.2 in Garden City. We saw. We were talking
Dude,
about
this
them.
is
Wait,
gorgeous.
hold on. Oh, is this Poconos? Oh shit.
This is Poconos.
I was gonna say guess how much these are. But look at this.
This is
4
you got a
beds,
shitload.
5 bathrooms, 5,000.
This is an $870,000.
That is a
house.
Bates Motel house. If you guys saw the house,
It's
if you
this
listen
house
to the
is
audio,
gorgeous.
it looks like Norman Bates going to come out and murder you outside this house, but it's like a nice version.
And
the
there's
house
like
has
a gazebo. Yeah, this is like when you want $1 million house. This is like
This is what you
This
don't
is what
mind.
you get.
and it's still below $1 million. It's still below.
it's
Look,
still below $1 million, but this is like in Pound Ridge or Long Island, this would be a $5 million house.
right, exactly. Oh well, look at this.
Look at that.
There's a cool feature that if you're listening to audio, we're seeing they give you the VR tour.
Do you
but
think Zillow could
they've
sponsor
really
us at some
improved these
point?
VR tours. Oh my god!
Yeah, that's awesome. You think Zillow could sponsor us at some point?
Hopefully that'd be cool.
Hey, Pierre Zillow. That's what I assume. There's a guy that
We could do Zillow pick of the week. Zillow, we like your
Zillow's-
website.
Yeah, that'd be. We're going to get a bunch of stuff for this podcast, guys, but, you know, I don't know what I was about to do a call of action. Tweet pictures of houses once we have a Twitter account. What's that there? Hey, Pat. Yeah, no. Fuck it.
Oh, also, I want to do a call of action. We want to do a call of action each week to ask people. We're almost done with this episode, but we'll talk about it a little bit next week.
There you go. That's when the magic happens.
I wanted to ask you guys because I was asking Dan before.
Fuck, that's where they fuck, guys.
The Burbsbros audience. I want to ask you, what is one chain that you thought was only your area that had it, that later on you realized was either national or it was like statewide or area wide?
I actually thought I misunderstood this question, so I would want one that I thought was a chain and it turned out not to be.
Oh, that too. That works.
Steve's Sizzling Steaks.
Did they have like such a good logo that you were like, this is?
It's just like, oh my god, what a great idea for. I just went there with my cousins. They bring out sizzling steaks. It's like the Tim Robinson sketch. You get fried onions. It's delicious, but I thought it's like, oh, every town has a sizzling steaks place.
So would you go away and be like, where's your Steve sizzling?
Yeah. Where's Steve?
And like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, Baltimore. Where's? What about
Yeah.
you? What was yours?
I found out it was definitely wider than I thought it was, but there was a couple by me, but I was like, this is just a Long Island thing, and it wasn't. Was Friendlies.
Yeah,
guys have Friendlies?
Friendlies. My wife has. I used to go there after plays all the time.
We used to go as kids.
What was your meal at Friendlies?
We would get the chicken finger meal when I was
Me
little.
too.
$1.99. It was and they gave you ice cream. $1. I sound like such an old man saying.
Well, we are, but I got the buffalo chicken tender ones.
And that must have been later. That might have been
They
later.
were really good.
When I was little, and it was good. It was good food, and it was $2. I'm pretty sure it was $2 for the meal, and then you get like a little sundae on the side of it, a drink. I think all of it. Something now would be like $20, $18. Was
What did I just
$2.
spend? Today I got I got an iced coffee and a croissant for $10 at Starbucks.
$10. Yeah, that makes sense. Everything's insane.
insane,
But they used to have Happy Endings was the name of a ice cream before people knew about Happy Endings.
So it wasn't that Happy Endings is a good chain place.
No.
for a name.
Oh no! Well, they had an ice cream Happy Ending at
And they
Friendly's.
it never took off.
And they had a thing called Jim Dandy, which
Jim Dandy's is a thing. Jim Dandy's is in
not
Jersey.
as a restaurant.
Yes.
Well, I meant they had an ice cream Jim Dandy that sounds.
No, it's the same.
racist.
Similar. They would have fried mushrooms and then the guy with the cap.
No, it's not a place. It was at Friendly's and it was ice cream.
Oh well, Jim
was a
Dandy's.
big
There's
Jim-
another place called Jim Dandy's with the guy with the cap. My uncle used to take us and my aunt. My uncle passed away.
You feel like that would have a problematic past?
I
Jim Dandy
probably.
sounds like an epithet. Jim Dandy.
It's Jim Dandy.
Like,
Jim Dandy.
We had Jim Dandies moving in down the block.
Jim Dandy, high school girls. Like, that's what it sounds like. Oh, the Fine Dandy. Jim Dandy sounds like a guy who sets up the cameras for Jared. Jared, you ready?
Would you think there's so many podcasts? If Jared Fogle comes out with the podcast when he gets out of jail, are you listening?
What do you think it would be called? Oh, of course. But what do you think you would call it? What the F? What the Fogle?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
What Jared?
Who do you think his
Fogle's
co-host would
podcast?
be?
His co-host. Did his partner kill himself? Did that guy die?
That guy is in jail for a lot longer than Jared. I know that. Like
Gary Glitter? Is Gary Glitter?
Gary Glitter. Oh man, funny. It's not really funny, but Gary Glitter. He's in jail now, but he was like touring East Asia, getting accused of like. Papa John would be a great co-host.
Papa John.
That works.
I want to see a comedy podcast, Papa John and Alex Edelman, those two together, just fucking, just the two sides of comedy, man. Papa John and Alex Edelman.
That works. You want to get out of here, Dan?
I do, yeah. So this is a fun show. It is.
It is a fun show.
I just don't know how to.
But Dan, you have your moments where you're like, I have to break down the fourth wall every 30 minutes.
I'm just not a good host. I think that's what we're. This isn't my forte. I have a special Dance Fatty Dance. It's on YouTube. It's free. Please check it out. Leave a comment. I have another. If you like wrestling, I have another podcast called Total Effing no shit. It's called Working Stiff. So that's just if you're a wrestling fan. And then all my dates are on danstgermain.net. I don't know why I'm screaming this. Yeah. So and I'm waiting to hear back about this one show. But the end of my plugs get really sad because it's always what I want. All right, Scott, what do you got, Sean? I called you Scott.
I had SeanDonnellyComedy.com, but check out my Instagram. It's at ShawneeTime. I have live dates coming up. I'm going to be in Pennsylvania. Then
we're in Pennsylvania.
And Long Island. I'm going to be at Wisecrackers. It's at in Wilkes-Barre. It's in a casino, but it's actually it's a really great room.
I've been to Wise. Yeah,
it's great.
That's where I saw Oppenheimer. That room.
Oh, in that area.
Well, that area we saw it during the day, and
yeah.
But
and yeah, just guys, just sign up for everything with Burbsbros. Like we're gonna do a bunch.
Follow us on fucking Instagram. Jesus.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram and tell your friends about the podcast. We're back, and like Dan said, if you're a fan of My Dumb Friends, you enjoy me and Dan, this will be that much more fun. We're
much more beaten up,
much more mature. Life has beaten us down. Have fun each week, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
Wait.
Oh, what happened?
Sorry. I forgot. Fuck it. That's fine.
A Patreon?
We're going to do a couple. Yeah, we're starting a Patreon in a couple months, but we're going to record one. I don't know. Maybe actually I was wrong.
You were wrong. That's going to be a separate thing.
Sorry, guys. Well, we're going to have a Patreon at some point. Sean's better at this shit than me. We got a fucking bunch of parrots wearing glasses. All right. See you guys.
Bye-bye.